Day 2 of the siege. I find all roads leading to the Red Mosque are cordoned off and a curfew imposed around it. It's incredible that in the middle, in peak rush hour, 9 o'clock in the morning, in the middle of the Pakistani capital, it's not only entirely sealed off, military out on the streets, but it is just dead, lifeless. There's just nothing around, nobody. We've just, through a contact, just been allowed to go with the army, hopefully right up to the mosque. Well, I mean, almost immediately from when we arrived, a few people started trickling out of the madrasa, and it's become quite a steady flow, all different age groups and women as well. And some government officials were briefing us saying, look, it's a very delicate situation, we're trying to encourage them to come out. And soldiers are at pains to explain to the students that nothing will happen to them. I mean, as you can imagine, they must be wondering what is exactly going to happen to them.
The arsenal in there is to show they can defend themselves, nothing else. There was an announcement that we should leave by 11. If we had stayed, it would only have meant death. One should only die for a good cause.
The students' names and addresses are taken before they're allowed to go.
From the president, you will get 5,000 rupees each. After that, the authorities will organize school, college, or even a madrasa better than the one you went to.
Over the next day, the students wait to be released. People living near the mosque look on anxiously. The curfew has meant that they can't leave their homes. Over a cup of tea, I chat to financial advisor Fahim Sada and his sister Iram, a charity worker.
You know those guys who just surrendered, or whatever you want to call it? They used to play football here, for God's sake.
Really? Did they? In front of your balcony?
Yeah.
What do you feel towards them then? Because it's an isolated case, but there are many madrasas.
The madrasa is basically a way of education now. However you want to take it, that's a separate issue. But these guys, they're fairly nice people if you get to talk to them. You see, there's a huge gap between the educated and these people, and the rich and these people. So if you can bridge that gap, they're just normal human beings, for God's sake. Who is telling them to do these things? That's the question.
There hasn't been any sort of difficulties or words said or anything like that?
You have to be careful. I mean, if they're asserting themselves, you have to, first of all, accept they're asserting themselves. Secondly, you have to sort of just be a little careful.
This is not Waziristan. This is not the tribal area. This is Islamabad. If this could happen here, I mean, I don't know, I just see things escalating somehow.
As night falls on the third day of the siege of the Red Mosque, more troops move in. The authorities have now cut off electricity and gas in the curfew area. Day 4. After 2 nights sleeping in the van, I've managed to get back to my hotel. The morning news is that Maulana Ghazi's elder brother has been caught trying to leave the mosque with a group of women dressed in a burqa. I managed to get through to Ghazi. Do you have water? Do you have electricity? What are conditions like inside for people?
It's a difficult situation, but still, I mean, the students, they are very much determined. They say that we are on the right way.
Yeah.
The government should accept it and appreciate it, and respect our point of view.
You know, this is, I mean, headline news, I mean, all around the world, I mean, not just in Pakistan. But last night there was these pictures of Maulana Abdul Aziz coming out. What happened? Because they said that he was hiding in a burqa and he was trying to flee.
He went to somewhere to see someone, and then I think he was somewhere apprehended. Can you call me later on? There's some problem here.
Well, that was, we got through to Maulana Abdul Ghazi, I mean, inside, and as you could hear, I mean, his mood was exactly as the first time I got him on the first day. It was just, he seemed quite calm, as though nothing had untoward had happened. But the headlines are saying in the newspaper this morning that there is a deal for him to surrender with all the rest of the students inside. And it says in the headline here, Maulana Abdul Rashid Ghazi, the Lal Masjid cleric, agreed to surrender along with hundreds of Taliban and Talibat Wednesday night. He also agreed to hand over weapons to the administration. So we'll head down there and see if that is actually the case. Near the mosque, the atmosphere is calm but expectant. The soldiers seem to be waiting for something. You know, how did you feel as a woman, you know, that here's a sort of a Maulana, senior cleric, and said that he was, you know, fighting for Islam, but then eventually coming out in a burqa?
Shameful. Shameful. You call yourself a mujahid and you're caught in a burqa.
I mean, mujahids would never be caught dead in a burqa.
Hello, Maulana Ghazi. It's Raghi from Al Jazeera again.
Yes, how are you?
Alhamdulillah.
In fact, very busy.
Okay, just give me one commentary, Abdul Ghazi, because I'm right near the masjid. Just give me an update.
The update is that we are here. My students are still defending the place, and they say that now there is no justification for bloodshed. Bloodshed not be done because now we have agreed in principle on different issues which were in fact the bone of contention.
But we saw a body or a corpse being taken out by some of the students just now.
He was died yesterday with the firing of the Rangers, because they have been target killing. They have been using the sniper, and they have been hitting the target directly with a brutal action.
Do you have plans to come out yourselves? What is your own plans?
No, I'm not coming, and I said that whatever will be done, it will be all honorably done, because we are not terrorists or we are not dacoits or thieves.
And how many students are still with you in the madrasa?
About 2,000 total male and female. 2,000.
2,000. What about the children, especially, Maulana?
Very few children. Very few children.
Did they leave already?
But there are very few. There are few children as well. Okay.
Okay, let's talk again in a couple of hours. Thank you, Maulana. Thank you. As news of the siege spreads, relatives from all over Pakistan arrive, desperate to find out what's happening to their children and frustrated by the lack of information.
I've been going mad since this morning. They should at least tell us if the children are in the army camp, whether we can meet them there. At least give them a drink. They're being blindfolded and taken here and there.
When the shooting is going on, only parents whose children are inside know what it feels like. The children are not the enemy.
My relative is from Peshawar. He wants to come out, but they won't let him. And these guys won't let them come out.
There is no difficulty in going in. At 5:30, 20 relatives went in, but the children are being held at gunpoint and aren't being released. We'll help you all we can, but for the moment, please, go over there.
As the day wears on, despite suggestions that a deal will be done to end the siege, the government forces are taking no chances. They fear the students leaving the mosque might be hiding suicide belts. As night falls, there is news. Well, in the last few minutes, the Maulana Abdul Rashid Ghazi from inside the Red Mosque and the madrasa has said that he and the remaining students are prepared to give themselves up unconditionally, which of course has been what the government has wanted all along throughout the day. So after about almost 12 hours since the operations began again this morning, with a series of gun battles and huge explosions which have left the outside walls of the mosque and the madrasa blown apart, and the defenses such as they were of the mosque and the madrasa reduced, it seems that reality has come home to roost for the Maulana Abdul Rashid Ghazi and the students, and there's a Lots of activity here now, and it seems that these reports that he's giving themselves up are about to come to fruition. And this may be the end of what has been a 4-day siege of the Red Mosque in the very heart of Islamabad.